everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Stitcher. My name is Megan. You can find me on Instagram as Megan_Babauta_ or on Ravelry as Mamamadevm. You are all very welcome here. So like I say, I just want to hop right in. I want to get to it. So I'm going to talk about my whips. These are the projects that I worked on this week. There's only 3 because it was a really busy week for me. Work was always crazy when you take a vacation, right? So I took my birthday vacation and that meant that work was busy. And when I got back from vacation, it was even busier. So I had my month-end close process. I'm an office manager. I don't know if I mentioned that. And so month-end close went through and that's always a crazy time. So little stitching, but I still want to share because, you know, I missed you guys. This is Lady Halloween. I showed this as my start last episode, and I'm stitching her on 28 count. This is a Zweigart smoky white, and I love this fabric. And here she is, DMC 310, 2/2, and I'm just loving it. This fabric, I'm so glad. I think I got like a lot of extra, but I am so glad that I did. I am so glad I did because I adore this fabric. I think that I want to put some smalls on this other half when I'm finished, so I'm just uber excited. I'm hoping I have at least a little bit left, and then of course I have a Mad for Minders needle minder on here. Hopefully you can see her. It's my little witch there. But yeah, I'm super happy with this progress and super happy with the project overall. It's just turning out so good. And I definitely want to order more of this fabric. I love it. The 28 count is really nice though. I love the coverage with the 2/2. And usually, although I like 28 count when it was like my first couple weeks cross stitching, now I kind of like 36. 36 is probably my favorite, my happy place. But yeah, I'm loving this project. It's great. And I just got that in one of my little Amazon bags. And of course, I would have thrown in here a picture of what that looked like last week versus this week, and you guys can see the progress I made. So super happy about that. The next one is, this is Little House Needleworks, the library. I showed this last week as my kitted up project, and this is my new start. So this was actually my birthday start. I'm stitching it 2/2 on 28 count DMC Monaco, and I am using the called for fancy flosses as well as the called for DMCs. So I finally got my act together and purchased like binder rings and everything. So I'll have quite a large acquisition section this time. Hopefully I can get my act together and like not buy so much in May, but you guys know me. And here is where I'm at with that. This has a Mad for Minders needle minder on it as well. And my acquisition with this project, not only it being a new kitted up project and a new start, but I also bought this 11x17 Q-snap and the Q-snap grime guard, and I love it. I love the stitching in general, just for starters, without talking about too much into the Q-snap. I am obsessed. This little door is where I started. I decided to do a center start, which I usually do an upper corner, right or left. I don't really care. I just like the upper corners. Mad for Minders needle minder. I showed that in my acquisitions last week, and I love it. It looks so good. I was wanting to film this weekend, but I just had the time today. I decided I'll just go and get some cardio in after work, and then I'll just film right away. So I just wanted, I wanted to share with you guys. I love it. So yeah, that was my birthday start. I worked on it Saturday and Sunday of my birthday weekend, and it looks so nice. I love the fabric. I will say the fabric is definitely like thicker and more like crisp feeling than like a linen, but I really like it. It's great. And I really like the grime guard, really like this size of Q-snap. I definitely recommend, if you don't use Q-snaps, to at least give it a try. I have heard some people say that it hurts their wrist to hold. That's probably why I like this size so much, because I can lean it on my armrest when I'm sitting on the couch and stitch with just holding it like you do a serving tray. So I really like it. It's working out great for me. I have a lap stand, but I don't actually know how to use it. So maybe someone can give me pointers. It's like a little wooden lap stand with scroll rods at the top and bottom. But how do you get the scroll rod to be like tight enough to hold the fabric? Do you need to fold the fabric over on itself? I don't know. I don't know these things. I'm too new. But I worked on that. The last project I worked on this past couple weeks since my last episode is my Prairie Seasons by this Prairie Schooler. And of course, I'll put a picture where I was last week. And then you guys are gonna be so happy. I actually got some progress. She's looking good. And this one's stitched 2/2 on a 28 count wheat Lugana. I really like Lugana fabrics, they're very nice. This needle minder is from Amazon, but the Mad for Minders lady, she sells them as well. So yeah, I'm really happy with this progress. I got all the little house except for the door and the windows. I just need to do the border around the door. So I'll do the border around the door, and then I need to fill in the windows. And then I can start on the grass. And there's also like an upper little, I don't know what you call it, like a wreath around here. And then I do need to fill in one of these little guys. I think this one here, but yeah, I love it. It's looking really good. What motivated me is I actually saw, I didn't want to work on this at all, but then I saw, what is her name? Nightmare Before Stitchmas. I love her videos. I love her style. Love everything she stitches. I know I've mentioned her in the past, but if you haven't heard of her, go check her out. She's awesome. And she finished hers, and it made me really want to finish mine. So I decided to commit and actually do it. And then look at me. I finally, do you guys remember last week? Do you remember what a mess these were? So I finally put these all on floss drops. Oh my goodness. How pretty are these colors though? Like, look at that. Just look at it. So beautiful. Oh, I love it. It's like super autumnal, even though it has all the seasons in it. They're just very muted colors. And of course, I'm still a mess, guys. I didn't say I was 100% better. But yeah, I love it. This is really fun. I think I'm going to switch over to just, what do you call this? Floss drops, I believe. I think I'm gonna switch over to these. I like this a lot. I like it for DMC, I like it for everything. And I was thinking I could get some kind of hook system, hang them all up. I'll figure it out. So that is my last work in progress and my one start for the week. So I'm just gonna go straight into acquisitions because look, I'm a mess, okay? I have no self-control. You know, what can I do? I'm not even gonna apologize. So if you do not want to hear anything about acquisitions or buying because you're in a no buy or something, it was so nice chatting with you guys this week. Leave a comment below. It's been really helping me grow my channel. Leave me a like, you know, subscribe, and have a good one. You know, I'll catch you next time. But if you don't mind acquisitions, then welcome. So I know I've shown you guys this before, the witching time of night, and this is a Shakespeare quote. So what I did is I went and purchased the floss. I still haven't decided what fabric to use. So the called for fabric I cannot find. It's Picture This Plus Murky, and I'm just having a heck of a time finding it. So I decided I would just go and pick up the actual flosses. These are Gentle Arts, and 2 of these are Simply Shakers, and the other ones are Color Fast, or just the sampler threads. But yeah, they're just the called for colors. Went to Threadneedle Street and picked up both two of each. And I did look for fabric there, but I want something that has that like that muddled look to it. So I wasn't sold. I actually was going to purchase, and I'm glad I didn't. I was going to purchase Eek, which is a Picture This Plus fabric, because you guys know I love Picture This Plus fabrics. But when I actually went into Threadneedle Street in Issaquah, Denise had a piece, and I pulled it out, and I was like, wow, this is so light. And she was like, oh, is it really? And I was like, yeah, 123 Stitch has a picture of it, and it's like very Halloween vibes, like dark orange with dark modeling on it. Looks like dirty, or like a dirty pumpkin or something, I don't know. But I was just getting a completely different vibe, like that dark orangey Halloween spookiness. And then when I saw it in person, it's more of like, I call it a sailor's sky, where it's like pink and muted, and it's like this beautiful skyline. Like a storm is coming. I don't know. It looked like that. And so I was kind of disappointed. I almost bought a piece. I kept bringing it to my stack and taking it out, bringing it to my stack, taking it out. And I finally was like, okay, don't get it. You know, if you're not sold on it, there's no point in spending the, you know, 20 bucks or whatever on it. So I decided to put it back, and I'm just going to keep her as is for now, and probably look on Etsy and see what I can find, honestly. This is another one I showed last week. It is the Christmas chart by Happy Mood Point. I'll put a picture up here. But what I added to it is this beautiful fabric. So this is, let's see here, gingerbread in 32 count. It's a Lugana, and I ordered a huge piece. I I don't know what I was thinking. Again, the concept of the size, it'll be like, ooh, this is a fat quarter, or like this is a whole yard. I have no concept. Like, look at this piece of fabric. What was I thinking? I don't know what I was thinking. Although I do really love the fabric, so I'm not mad at myself. I actually saw my aunt, the very first cross stitch project I saw in person that my aunt had stitched was a piece that was on gingerbread, and I really, or maybe she had mentioned it, and so I went home and Googled it, and I was like, ooh, I love that. It's such a good color. I mean, it's like the most beautiful dark neutral that will literally match anything. So I thought this gingerbread, how cute, right? I would pair that with my Christmas piece, and I did order this from Flosstube Fabrics, and I ordered it on Etsy. Here's her little card. Super cute with a little pig, adorable. And then here's the back. So I ordered that, super fast shipping, great customer service. And when I went to see Denise at Threadneedle Street, I decided to pick up some silks. So you guys know last week I had shown some DMCs, but it wasn't quite my Christmas colors. So I went there and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna get some silks. Why not? Why not? You're spoiling yourself. So I got all of these. These are called Trebizond. I'm so sorry. I've never actually used silks before, and I don't know how you pronunciate, like the pronunciation of these, I have no idea. So I got some greens, just one shade, like a pine green, a dark burgundy, two and two of those. And then I got a more cherry, brighter Christmas, like Santa red as well. So I love these. Oh my gosh. So this is 401. This one is 410. And this one is 7190. Forest Glade, Ruby, and then just red. They are so soft. Like, now I get it. Silky soft, I get it. But I'm really excited about this project. I think this will be really fun for Christmas, and like I said, I know I'm gonna have a lot of this fabric left. The piece is not that large. At least it is a decent sized project, but because I'm gonna be stitching it on 32 count and probably just using one strand of thread, it's really not gonna take up all that much. So I'll have quite a bit of extra. I was thinking about stitching, I saw some Lottie-Da nutcrackers, and it calls for NPI silks, and I was thinking I might switch out the NPIs with those bobbins, and I'd already have a little bit of red and green, so that'd be cool. So that was my other acquisition. Really happy with that. I'm excited to start it. My next acquisition, you guys are probably so sick and tired of hearing me talk about these, but I finally completed my quad. So if you've watched the other episodes, you'll know 100% I'm obsessed with these. I am going to be stitching a quad of Prairie Schooler Halloween pieces, and including the smalls, but the smalls are going to be separate for me. I haven't decided how I'm going to do that or what fabric I'm going to use. No idea. We'll get there when I get there. I'm not going to kit that up. But I finally ordered the last two pieces of fabric, so they have come in the mail, and these are 32 count linen, just Witchel's linen. I think it's called wool. Lamb's wool? Yeah, lamb's wool. I really love this color, and since I stitch in a Q-snap, the stiffness of it doesn't bother me at all. So I got the last of my fabrics, and they're all ready. They're ready to go for autumn, so that's exciting. I'm excited to start those, honestly. So pretty. Love the patterns, and they're good size. You know, they're not huge projects, so I'm really excited about that. The next thing I've got, I decided to purchase Little House Needleworks, the bookshelf. And the bookshelf includes a bunch of titles that are kind of like the classics, I would say. And I just got the called for DMCs. When I kit things up, I keep the flosses and the projects. I keep everything in a separate bag if I can, just like for conservatory purposes, because I know I'm not going to get to these for who knows how long. So I try to keep them as nice as possible. So I have these separated, and the fabric is just in the bag. Usually I keep the fabric in a Ziploc bag as well, but this one I didn't. I'll probably throw it in one, honestly. And this is a small piece of 32 count Weeks Dye Works Cool Gray. I'll hold this out. Really pretty color. Just a nice neutral, honestly. I love it. Really nice. Like the feel of it. The Weeks Dye Works is, I will say, a little bit drier. I think that's why I like Picture This Plus. It feels like plump to me. But I have heard that Picture This Plus, the fabric is shrunk a little bit from the dyeing process. So I don't really know. I don't know, because, you know, I haven't stitched on tons of things, so I can't recall the difference between one to the other. I can if I go and I'm like stitching on a 28 count project all day and then the next day I'm switching to a 36, but I find them both super enjoyable. I'm just elated. I love this process, and oh my goodness, I can't thank this community enough. Like, wow, you guys are so nice and so amazing. I actually have some people to shout out, but I wanted to save that to the end just so I wouldn't blizzer blabber for too long. My next acquisition, I have actually shown you guys everything for this one. It's the Halloween Quaker. I'll put a picture of the project. But if you remember, the last time I showed it, I was gonna stitch it on a 40 count Newcastle's Country Mocha. Well, while I was grabbing that gingerbread from the Floss and Fabrics, I thought to myself, you know, I should get something for that. And so what I went with is a 32 count Lugana, and this is the colorway Meyer, M-I-R-E. And I love this. Look at that. She puts it on there in beautiful handwriting, beautiful flowers. I love it. But I decided this is just gonna be perfect. Look at that. Oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Amazing. I love this. Love the modeling. I think that this is a really nice light version, you know, because that's the one thing I've heard about Murky is that there can be quite dark pieces in it, and that can be hard to stitch on, especially at a 40 count. So I thought, oh, I could get a 32 or a 36, which are my favorites right now, right? And that, I love it. I think that's going to be so much fun. There's very little green in the project itself. Yeah, as I said, I like to keep them in bags. And the only green there really is like that true bright neon, like Halloween green. And I think that's going to pop on this fabric. So I'm super excited about this project. Oh man, I want to start this so bad. I'm trying to refrain, but it is mania. But I did just like have a new start once a week, every week in April. So I need to get it together. Another one I've shown you guys, but I decided to finally complete the kitting up process. This is Matter's Choice. I'll throw in a picture here. And I decided to add 32 count copper kettle. And this is just a pretty small piece, an 18 by 18, but I love the color. It's so pretty. Just beautiful linen. Denise at Threadneedle Street, her fabrics and everything she sells is just wonderful. Including herself. She's just an amazing woman. Like, oh my gosh, so sweet. Like, do you ever just meet someone and you get this energy, like right away, like, oh my gosh, you were just an amazing human? That's her. She's wonderful. And she's so helpful, like so helpful. I mean, look at me, brand new with all these questions. I have no idea what fabric counts are and what 2/2. I have no idea. And she was so patient and kind. And you know, you don't really find that in very many people these days. And that's why I'm like continuously blown away with this community. But regardless, the copper kettle from Threadneedle Street in the 32 count, I thought that'd be really cute for the Matter's Choice pattern. And it looks really close actually to the called for, like the stitched fabric. And I loved it. So really excited about that. Here is a completely new one that you guys haven't seen before. So again, I was at Threadneedle Street because, you know, I have no resistance. And I decided to grab this one, a Teresa Kogut pattern. This is my first one from her, and I think this is called Silla Witches? I don't know. Can someone give me a breakdown of that down below? But I actually have seen this on 1-2-3 Stitch so many times, and I've put it in my cart so many times. Let me tell you, so many times. But I have so many Halloween projects. I was like, okay, Megan, get it together. Like, do you need another one? But I wanted it. So I bought it. And I got the called for flosses, but I actually thought to myself, after seeing it in person, the Week Styleworks Grasshopper that is called for, that's this one. I decided I would purchase, Guacamole is what's called for, but it was so muted compared to the Swamp Water that I went ahead and purchased a Grasshopper as well, because I wanted to see which one I prefer. So I'll just go ahead and stitch up both on the fabric that I purchased and see which one I like best. I mean, honestly, there's so little difference between the two. It's very, very similar, but I just couldn't decide. And I thought, you know, I should just give it a shot. Buy both while I'm there. It's, you know, a bit of a drive, so I might as well just buy it while I'm out and about. And then last, for this project, a 32 count Pumpkin King. And this she purchased at Rogue Stitching. And here it is. How amazing. Isn't this amazing? I almost bought all that she had. I was this close. And then I was like, Megan, do you really need like a whole yard of that fabric? I mean, with how many Halloween stitches I do, it probably would have been okay. But I am obsessed, yeah. I love this fabric. I love the almost tie-dye like look to it. I think it's gonna look so good with these flosses. I know there are some areas where the swamp water will, you know, be a bit more muted, but I still think it's gonna be so fun. And it'll stand out enough. And if anything, I could actually stitch this held double and hold the two greens together. This is my other idea. Hold the two greens together and then stitch this with, what's that? Dark brown, 3371 from DMC. Hold one strand of this with the DMC, so you would still get that solid color, but you'd get a bit of the variegation as well, and that would make it really pop on the fabric. That's if I decide to do a 2/2, but honestly, 32 count, I'm happy to do 1/1 on, so we'll see, but oh man, I just love this fabric. Again, I got all of that at Threadneedle Street, and it was just awesome. I love the project. I was going back and forth between a couple of projects, and that's the one I decided to kit up. So super happy with that. Excited to start that. I'll probably start it sometime in October. Maybe I'll have another crazy month where I start a bunch of things. My next one, because I have no self-control, oh my goodness, someone just like take away my debit card. Take it away. This is Haunted House Sampler. I really love this pattern. Another one that I have looked at on 1-2-3 Stitch so many times. Sorry, I hadn't opened it yet, so I was curious what it looked like inside. And this one, I decided to kit it up with all the called for DMCs. So I do have all of these. I don't have them in a baggie yet, but there's quite a few, and they are quite bright. Like, look at some of these bright oranges, and this one, particularly the red, super bright. I love it though. I'm super excited about that. I love the border of that fabric. It's just amazing. And you know, Picture This Plus are my favorite fabrics, so I decided to pick up this piece of Fog from Picture This Plus when I was visiting with Denise. I really like this fabric as well. Really pretty. And I think that I've also purchased a very large piece of this, so I think I'll have quite a bit of little extra, so I can do a small. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I love it. I just can't wait. I just want to stitch all the things. Like, tell me to get off this camera so I can just start stitching. So yeah, I am really happy with this. I love it. It was really fun, and I don't know, something about like this, something about right here, there's like this tree and there's a cat on top of it. I just thought that is so weird and cute. So I really like that, and I'm excited. I mean, how many times can I say that? So don't make a drinking game out of me, because look, I'm not responsible. Not responsible for how it ends. My last one, and I'm saving best for last, let me tell you. So if you guys watched, I think it was my second episode, I'm pretty sure it was my second episode. I went into Threadneedle Street in Issaquah, Washington, and she had my quote-unquote unicorn piece. It's not a piece that is out of print, so it's not really a unicorn, you know, it's not one that's quote-unquote, it's not hard to find. The real problem is that you would have to pay for shipping because it comes from overseas, and I don't have any other needle street, like I don't have any needle shops near me besides Denise, really, unless I want to go to Portland, which is not too bad of a drive, but it's not always worth it to me because I've got a 4-year-old I gotta lug around with me, and my husband and all that, you know, and we work a lot, so we want to spend time together on the weekends. So usually I try to make it out there when I can, and that is hopefully continues on as about once a month. But the first time I went in there, I saw it. I saw her hanging, and I was like, oh, you have the Lady and the Unicorn. That's the name of this. It's a tapestry that was like single piece of it was cut down into this cross stitch project. And she said, yeah, it's actually a full kit. I don't have any of them. And I remember telling her, like, well, you know, later this month or next month is my birthday, and I will be back to buy that. And Denise is like the sweetest human ever. She ended up ordering some, and she sold all of them except for one. And when I went in, I bought it. So it is kind of expensive, I'm not gonna lie. But if you're a knitter, then this cost is low. So put it at that. If you're a knitter and you use indie dyed yarns, this is about the cost of one sweater quantity for a sweater that's my size. So, I mean, I was ready to spend it. I said, take my money, Denise. So 2021 Lady and the Unicorn. This is 23 by 33 inches. So she is massive. And this is by the Gouverneur or Thea Gouverneur. I'll put it like either in the down bar or I'll put the name up here or something. But, oh, it's so pretty. I love her. Like I said, not the cheapest kit, I'm sure. And I mean, maybe there is a place online where you can find this, but I would rather order it from like a reliable source. And I'm so new to cross stitching that I didn't have a way to know what a reliable source was. I'm still learning. So like if I do ever purchase something and it's unreliable, or like you think that I might have purchased like a fake pattern or a reprinted pattern that was not a legal pattern, please let me know. I don't even know how to find that stuff out. So let me know, tell me. I'm not offended at all if someone's like, hey, that pattern is actually, you know, copyright issues. But oh, isn't she beautiful? She is stunning. And the fabric, I'm not sure if you can see the fabric in there. I don't want to take it out because I don't want to mess it up, but the fabric is so pretty. It's like this peachy red, just stunning. And it's kitted with DMCs, which I love DMCs. I'm finding that I love DMCs like more than any other flosses. I haven't tried the silks yet, and I haven't tried my Valdanis yet, but that'll be my plan. So this was my last like kit, or my last real cross stitch. But my other things that I purchased in acquisitions, I did get another grime guard, just a small one, and I'll look for the 11 by 11. But shout out to the Needleberry Stitcher. So if you do not follow her Flosstube, she is wonderful. I love like watching her. I wish that I could just be her best friend, okay? She doesn't know it, but she is my best friend. I just love her. I don't know, like her videos, her humor, she like inserts little clips sometimes and it has me dying. Like her humor is like spot on just with like mine. And I'm like, man, girl, we'd get along so well. But I am an idea thief. So she had talked about how she just buys, she bought like a tie rack, and then she was able to hang the tie rack from like a ledge. So she has a ledge like this, she has the tie rack, and then she can hang her DMCs from it, or fancy flosses, whatever, on the binder rings. So I went onto Amazon, dropping them, and bought a pack of binder rings. And these were super cheap, only like $5 or something, and there's a pack of 15. And I went to, where is it, Michael's or Joann's or something like that, and I bought one of these huge hole punches. And then I also purchased this hole punch. So I decided to start making my own floss drops. I totally stole this idea from you. I'm sorry. I'm a thief. But how genius is that? I mean, I'm sure that it's probably been done like a million times, but I'm like I've said a million times, I'm brand new to cross stitching. So watching her, I just have learned a lot. And I just went and purchased some scrapbooking fabric, and my work has a laminator, so I can laminate these if I want to even. And I've like pre-made a couple of little rings of them, so I could just have some ready. And oh my gosh, what a good idea, right? And I have a smaller hole punch as well, just a tiny one. I think a lot of us have these. And so that I used for the top hole, and I couldn't decide if I wanted to put it like at the bottom or the top. So I'm trying to see which is more durable without laminating them. So I made a set of both to test it out and see what works out when I'm pulling the flosses on and off. And yeah, I'm really happy with that. Just what a good idea. And it just, I happened to be in Threadneedle Street, and when I was picking up some needles, my John James needles I love so much, I also purchased a couple bags of these. And that's when I remembered, like, oh, you know, she had shown the idea of making these yourself. And so I decided I would just stop on my way home at Joann's, and I think it was Joann's, maybe it was Michael's, I don't know, whichever one offers the coupon. So I think it's Michael's that offers like a 20% off coupon. So I bought this and the fabric, or sorry, the paper and everything, so that I don't have to continuously buy these floss drops. These are $7 a pack at my local craft store. I don't know if it's like cheaper elsewhere. It might be, but I'm really happy with that. And like I said, I purchased some just John James gold needles. Not really exciting there, just some 28s and 26s, so my usuals. They're just my favorite. And the last thing I purchased, you guys, I can't stop, okay? Look at it. Look at it. It's the Golden Girls. The Golden Girls. How could I say no? And it was like maybe $4 or $5. Mad for Minders, Needle Minders. And then the other one I purchased, this is, let me see, I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget, and now I can't even find it, of course, right? Story of my life. This is a Stitch and Poke needle minder. The one in the middle here, hopefully you guys can see that. If not, I'll insert a picture. It just is my birth month. I am a Taurus. So I bought that, but look at how tiny the magnet is. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried. You guys know I'm just brutal with my needle minders and my projects. I'm worried it's not strong enough. I don't know, it's pretty sturdy, look at that. Ooh, she might be okay. So those were my acquisitions, and those are all my projects. I made a huge mess. I hope my husband doesn't come home for a little while. But I do have some plans for next week. So shout out to Alexis at My Amazing World. It's Alexis_My Amazing World. I actually have followed her on Instagram like since I very first started cross stitching, and I just love her style, and she seems really nice and fun. So I'd followed her on Instagram, and she ended up reaching out to me and being like, I saw your Flosstube, and I was like, oh my goodness, do I feel famous? Yeah, I do. But she is amazing. Her personality is wonderful. And she was like, did you start that summer Quaker? And I was like, this one? I did not. But are you starting it? So I'm just gonna blame her 100%. So shout out to Alexis and Kia. Her and Kia together, hilarious. If you haven't checked her out, please go watch her. She's so fun and funny, and they are so great together. So this is gonna be my start this weekend. Am I gonna participate in Mania? I don't know. I don't wanna set any set plans because I just started so many things, but I am definitely going to start this weekend. She had showed me a picture of her progress, and so I gotta catch up. I gotta catch up with her. I'm obsessed with this. I love it. I just am using the call for flosses, call for fabric, all of it. Didn't change a damn thing. So really boring, but oh, so beautiful. And of course, I'll put a picture of that project. So those are my plans for this weekend, my planned start for Mania. And I just want to say too, speaking of Alexis and her reaching out to me, I have gotten several shout outs on Flosstube, and I wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much. Like, you guys have helped my channel grow immensely. I think I have I don't even know how many subscribers. I don't like looking because I don't want to be obsessed with it, you know, but oh man, it just makes me think like, gosh, you guys wouldn't even all fit in my place, but here we are all together. So shout out and thank you to Lady Robbins. Robbins with a Y. I'll link her down below, and I'll have her name here. She shouted me out in her last Flosstube. She's actually a local Pacific Northwest stitcher. And Susan Standley, a Stitch in Time. So, funny story. I was in Threadneedle Street in Issaquah, Washington, and in walks these ladies, and they're just shopping, and I'm looking around. I have my daughter with me, and she's just sitting and hanging out, and I hear them chatting or whatever, but you just mind your business and keep on walking along with looking around the store, and you get so distracted and immersed in the projects. And then Susan came up to me and said, excuse me, aren't you the Seattle Stitcher? And I mean, of course I have no makeup on, my hair's a mess. And I was like, I am. Like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you watching. She told me how she watched my videos, and she'd just seen me, and she was like, you have to meet my friend, her friend, Robin. So I got the absolute pleasure of meeting these two beautiful, amazing women. And oh my gosh, just what a wonderful wealth of knowledge they have. Please go check out their channels. I subscribe to both. I've watched tons of their videos. Look, I need to get off my phone and actually stitch. I think I'm just addicted to Flosstube. But Susan is into the same types of thing, the history behind pieces and fabrics, and that's one thing that I really love is textile histories, fabric history. The history of people in general is so fascinating. I mean, how can you not just be like, wow, that's so interesting and I have to learn more. That's how I am. And that is how I have so many books. but she recommends a lot of really good floss tubers, and I mean, shout out to her. She's amazing, and I can't even believe she recognized me. So that's how I met Robin, because they were meeting up for the first time too. So it was just so funny. All of us got to meet for the first time, all the three of us ladies together, and they were so sweet to my daughter, and I just can't thank them enough. I can't thank them enough. And then they had actually mentioned, or I think maybe I had commented on a video because someone had sent me over to So Grateful. So SEW and Grateful, So Grateful, like sewing. And she is also a Pacific Northwest stitcher. So hi if you're watching. And you know, thank you so much for shouting me out. She had an amazing idea about birthday cakes. So my birthday is in April, and I need to drop off some cakes. She actually gets these reusable tins, and she puts birthday cake mix, icing, and like all the little, you know, things you need to get together a little tiny birthday party for the families, and you drop them off at the food bank. And I thought that is like a genius idea. I think I'll drop them off at my church. I don't know. Haven't decided, but what a good idea. Like, that is literally the sweetest thing I've ever heard of too, for her to do that on her own birthday, like she's just making about other people. Oh, what a treasure of a woman, right? Wonderful. So I just had to say, you know, shout out to all those people, and thank you so much for just saying hi and you know, talking and making me feel welcome here. I can't believe it. You guys are just wonderful. I don't want to be emotional, so I'm just stop. And I'm gonna move on to my personal life. So, personal life updates. My birthday passed, and it was so much fun. So I took a bunch of time off, and like Thursday we went out and Daniel got his base tan. I'll like pop in pictures as I'm talking. So Daniel is my husband. He is 35 this year, and he got his base tan. He's a bodybuilder, and so he did that, and then we came home, and then Friday we went out to actually stay. So we stayed Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Bellevue, and we were right across from the Maidenbauer Center, which is where the bodybuilding show was at, and it was the Emerald Cup. He was in the men's bodybuilding heavyweights. He got a new like little Speedo, I guess you'd call it, which is kind of funny, but I helped him pick the colors. That was fun. And he ended up taking 3rd place in his class. And that, it seems like, oh, that's like what, 3rd place, but that's amazing. Not only is it because like my husband, he's, you know, he's in his mid-30s, but on top of that, he has not competed in a show in 2 years. And the Emerald Cup is a big show, and the class was stacked. I mean, for men's heavyweight, it was a full class, and I am just so proud of him. He won a little trophy, and my daughter was super excited. She's pretty much treating the trophy like he's Ken, and just a really buff Ken. And it was so much fun. It was a great experience. He's even more motivated for next year, so it's super exciting to see him be motivated and excited about this and like the journey. And oh wow, just inspiring. I love him. I'm so proud of him. So proud. I couldn't be any prouder. He ended up actually also getting promoted at work. So not only did I get a promotion at the beginning of this year, but he got a promotion just right before his show. So what an amazing year for us. And we just purchased another vehicle, so we have that as well. That was super exciting, and we got to drive that out there in Bellevue, and that was really fun, learning the new vehicle in a new place. And so it was really exciting. It was a great time, and we just had so much fun. And then this weekend is Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there, or you furry moms, or you mothers of angel babies out there, little rainbow babies and such, you know, happy Mother's Day. And I hope you feel important and loved and special, and know that, you know, you are so important. So important. I don't know what I would do without my mom, and now here I am, a mom myself. Blows my mind. But it was just a great time. It was so much fun. I just didn't want it to end. And then I got back to work. Crazy time at work. Our month-end close processes are always really busy, but got that all completed. And I mean, now here we are. It's almost Friday, so it'll be great. I'm gonna get together with my family this weekend and have a barbecue, make some char siu chicken, and it'll be my cheat meal for the week. So I'm excited because after my husband's done with his like bodybuilding shows, we start working out together again. So every day of the week I've been going with him. But Amira, she's kind of under the weather today, so I decided I'd go up and do some cardio on my own and call it good for the day, and that's fine with me. But yeah, it's been a great time, and I just had such such a lovely time. And, you know, thank you for all the well wishes for my husband as well. He, you know, he reads or he sees the comments. I screenshot them and send them to him, and he's always happy to see that you guys are so nice and supportive and kind. As far as my knitting though, if you were sticking around for knitting, I actually didn't get a stitch done in my grandma's project. It's just been a crazy time. As you can see, my week's been packed. Whether it be putting together new kitted projects or buying things. It's been a busy week. But I can't thank you guys enough. You're all so welcoming and wonderful. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'll catch you in probably about 2 weeks from now. I think that's going to be my new uploading schedule. It has been from the beginning, every 2 weeks, and I think it's working really well. So I'll catch you guys next time. And thank you for spending this time with me in this crazy season of our lives, right? Well, have a good one. Bye, guys.